Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys,
and TV and movies too.
All right,
I love that.
All right, welcome back to the Toy Duo, and you won't know who is here, AI or not. We are going to
real. No, I'm AI. Hey, now I'm real.
Yeah, so we are going to have a discussion about AI. On the thumbnail, there's a whole bunch of images that I made using the Microsoft Designer. We'll talk about that later. We're going to talk about the breaking news this week with some changes over on the Star Wars Hasbro team, and we're going to talk about what that means. They're going to have a stream on Monday, so we might make some predictions. Got a special new segment of the show that we're going to try out this week. It's a surprise to everybody here because I didn't mention it. And then, of course, we're going to do the hot or not and show you the 4 action figures that were revealed this week. No, I don't know.
How many of them were Batmans?
There were a few more. Yeah, they were all Batmans. But anyways, let's get rid of this thumbnail. And I just want to go through and say, welcome to Left Coast Graphics there. He also wants to be called Heroes and Villains. Little does he know that somebody owns Heroes and Villains Instagram. Oh, Heroes and Villains San Diego Instagram account. And you'll guess
who why they have to add that word San Diego to theirs.
I'm hoping somebody comes with a buyout offer for that.
There you go. There you
go. We got John from Super Awesome Geek Show, and there's his YouTube channel. And there he is over in the corner. He is John AI GBT 6.0. Oh,
yep,
and
I am AI today. I'm AI.
Yeah, Rick is Left Coast Rick, Slime Lord, Pin Set Vendor. Is that what it says? I got it. When we see the full name, we'll see it. And then, of course, we got Dino from Geek Strong. He's not here, but he'll probably call in, interrupting the show about halfway through. Yeah, Dandy 1981 right here. He's
right a bot.
Yeah.
No, he's a bot today.
Oh, he's a bot today? Okay.
Dandy bot.
Dandy bot.
Yeah. Oh, Dandy bot. Okay, yeah, there you go. And then Connor from Fuller's Figures. He was chasing the bus. It was there's a reason why I didn't use that thing.
Chasing the bus
again.
And then Sir Eric Brown, and make sure you go over and subscribe to his YouTube channel to enjoy all of the content that he puts up weekly at the Sir Eric Brown's.
Top tier stuff. It's top tier stuff, man.
And me and Eric are the only ones who didn't bother changing the name because it is a lot of work to go in there and type in a new name.
I had already to go for tomorrow's Jeopardy stream, and I had to change it back from that, not to spoil anyone.
It's less work than having a shower, so it's not that bad.
To a movie. I was going to give you a hard time about that when you were talking about that you would go see every Star Wars movie in the theater, because I was going to say, you have to take a shower.
Yeah, get ready and all that. It's just a pain.
Say hi to some folks in the chat. We got G-Force Racing has joined us. We got Gerard Kane out there. Paul Morales has joined us again. Dandy is pulling double duty, and he's in the stream.
Oh,
and
are we supposed to be in the chat too?
That's the real Dandy.
It's totally up to you guys. Dandy bot. But anyway, so does anybody here watch Reacher?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard of that show.
It's good.
Is it on YouTube?
We haven't watched the last episode.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, so you should.
Oh, there's a last one up. Okay, I gotta watch that too.
No, I mean like what? I don't know how many are in this season.
Its season finale was this week.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's the best show this year right now at this point.
Yeah,
as long as 2024 has been, it's the best show of 2024 so far.
Yeah, it has been. I mean
that started in 2023.
I'm a big fan. It's like Peacemaker without the dick and fart jokes, really.
Yeah,
but it's,
and you know what? It's actually
they're all badasses, and I love it.
I read a thing this morning. It's number 2 on the Nielsen charts, by the way.
Really? Eh?
Yeah, that's pretty good for
this Nielsen guy.
What?
Who's this Nielsen guy?
You ever seen?
Why does he matter?
Leslie Nielsen. He said number 2.
Company.
He charts it. Okay, I didn't know
and
that.
Part of why I enjoy it is because it's here's not all 8 episodes or whatever. Like it was something for me to look forward to next Friday, kind of thing. So That's
I
part of
was.
why I liked it. It's not the highest budget show. It's not the best,
Not the
of
best
anything,
acting.
but it's generally entertaining and has a lot of. It's fun at the same time without.
That last episode, I was no spoilers, Dan, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it just felt like it was like nonstop until almost the end.
I'll have to watch it.
I hope everyone enjoys it like me because I really did enjoy it this year.
I've enjoyed it so far. I just haven't watched the last one. I went yesterday afternoon to turn on Monster Monarchy or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, there's not a new episode." Then I realized last week was the season finale. I was going, "I want to see what happened."
Yeah, we were talking about this, right? With these like 6-7 episode seasons. And you're like, what? You guys can't do
I was
this.
like, finally, they had giant monsters fighting. Godzilla was battling something else, and the guy fell off the machine. And I'm going, oh, what's going to happen? I was like, I can't wait to watch it. Now
I haven't seen the end of Monarch yet, but I was enjoying it.
I have to wait.
I will tell you the one thing I do appreciate about like what Prime does and what so far Apple has done is with their streaming shows is the run times have been pretty consistent. Which is a far cry from what Disney does, where like 1 week you get like a 12-minute episode. Yeah. So I like the fact that they're consistent episodes. So obviously they're written to be like episodes, and they kind of have like a start and a beginning in the episode, which is kind of nice. I mean, at least Reacher felt that way. Like it did carry through, but I didn't like leave the episode going. They just cut it off in the middle of a cliffhanger or something like that.
Yeah, no, it was done well that way, and like how they. They almost like a cliffhanger every episode in a way, but
right.
It's not really. It's just like, okay, the story's gone this far. Now what happens next? And then there's usually a little joke or a song that goes along with it. It's pretty well done.
Yeah.
And made in Canada. I think it was made in Saskatchewan, that one.
I don't know. Is that a bus? So the bus that he gets on, is that a bus line in Canada?
I don't think any of that stuff is real. I think it's all
I think they completely painted a magical
TV bus. It's just removable sticker material. It's done all the time. A lot of the businesses I'm sure are real, but they'll change, like U.S. post office mailboxes and stuff like that. Like we have warehouses full of that stuff up here in Canada just for the filming of shows like this, right?
Right. So I was curious. We were talking about the Nielsen's a minute ago, and like prior to the internet, I remember, I don't know if somebody told me this, but it was like, or I heard it somewhere. I think I heard it somewhere. When you're younger, you remember stuff from when you were younger and you kind of don't remember where you got the information. I thought that Nielsen rating system was they go through the states or whatever, and they find all of the families with the last name Nielsen, and they basically like
average it out,
ask them to join this like thing, and it used to be they would put a box or something in their house, but now I think they just go on the internet and fill out a form, and they just say what they watch.
I think it was a mail-in, or like you can subscribe to a letter that comes in the mail, or like a phone thing. Like in the 80s we had dial tone phones where you go beep.
You had a dial tone? I still had.
No, I didn't have it. I'm just saying. Well, I had all the different kinds of phones. Yeah, I'm that old. But I think that's how it was back in the day. You can volunteer or sign up for it. So,
well, you dated yourself last week when you pulled out that iPhone 4 that you claimed was an iPhone 1.
Yep.
You know why that dated you? Because you had no idea
about probably only 10 years old
technology until you got an iPhone 4.
Oh man, the iPhone 4 was badass at the time. 8 megapixels.
8 megapixel. I had the first. Me and my wife, we bought the first camera phones. Those little flips that had the little cameras on them, and they were like, I think not even a megabyte or something, or a megapixel or something like that.
And do you have some of those photos still saved, like on a computer somewhere?
I have some of those.
If I look back in history of my photos, you see like those first 3 photos are like this,
and they're super tiny. You can't enlarge them at all. They get all pixelated. Yeah. All right. Speaking of photos, let's talk about the creator spotlight of the week. So we wanted to highlight a creator who's out there doing something a little bit different, doing some action figure photography or something like that. So I found this guy on Instagram, and it is Lolo Gatti Toy Photography. Let me see if I can grab the link really quick.
So to confirm, Vernon, this is not AI. This is real.
This
art.
is yeah.
Okay. Let's try everyone in the chat. This is real art.
This is real. This is a guy who's got an Instagram account, and he takes toy pictures of real stuff. And let's see. I'm stalling because I'm trying to get his link. There you go. And then I just pulled a couple of pictures, and these are kind of some an example of some of the pictures he has done. I think they look really cool. I think he's using like probably the air blast to blow the dirt and stuff like that, right? Like a lot of these guys do. But I think overall, I think they look pretty cool. I've looked through his pictures and stuff like that. So,
I just followed him. Saw Alf on a motorcycle. That was a pretty badass. There it is.
The Alf. I love it.
So
I like the Alf. Yeah,
that's awesome stuff.
Here's this thing. He's got about 1,800 people following him. So I think it's pretty cool. And I thought we'd give him a shout out this week. Nice. I do love that Iron Man. That's a great pose. I could never put my Iron Man in that pose because it always looks funny to me. But I wonder
if that Black Widow's pose though.
No, because remember the very first Iron Man when he flies out to the desert and he lands.
No, I know. I think it
lands
just,
like that.
I think it's the standard superhero landing pose now.
Yeah,
officially.
probably could be. I just need to learn how to pose my action figures.
It's just cooler when it's Scarlett Johansson doing it.
Superhero landing.
Was Usagi chopping up a Pizza Hut breadstick?
It looked like a breadstick.
No, it looks like one of those bananas with like all the sesame seeds or something like that on it. Oh, you know what? It could be a breadstick.
Yeah, because I've never heard of a banana with sesame seeds on it.
I'll second that, Rick. It does look like something covered in sesame seeds.
Must be.
You guys have never heard of the sesame seed covered banana?
No. Why would you do that?
Bananas
well, when you put it in the tailpipe,
just bacon wrap a banana. That's just as bad.
You put a banana in my
then sesame seeds,
banana in the tailpipe,
and the old banana,
and chili peppers.
Yeah. All right. Let's say hi to Jumpy McClunky.
That's McClunky.
The post says it is a Greek sesame ring bread.
Sesame ring bread. Oh, that sounds good. Silver Scratch Production says, saying hello, peeps.
Yo,
Silver.
Prawn toast.
Figure out what that says. Oh, okay. So, what else? You guys watching anything else this week?
What's he saying? Sesame covered bananas sounds like an SD thing. Like, is he saying like it's a disease?
No,
like,
he's probably
San
saying
Diego.
A San Diego thing. Like, we're very.
I watched
I keep getting this. You're real bougie with your food and stuff like that.
You know, there was something I watched. It didn't just come out. It's just been on my backlog. That my wife and I finally finished watching the third season of Reservation Dogs.
Oh, that is
fun.
It's such a good series. But you know what? I'm not sure if you guys have the same experience as I do. But Hulu has the worst ads. Like it's the same group of ads.
Which ones are you
constantly? I'm getting like Biktarvy, like the HIV medication, like constantly, and like I just
grooming ones. The grooming ones.
I get the hims and hers stuff, like and what else do I get? I get the one for the like black singles dating app.
Okay.
One constantly, and I'm like I don't really care at the end of the day because
AI is listening, Eric.
So everybody check your Instagram.
I just put it on
later and see if you got these things jumping into your feed.
Yeah, but I'd be curious if you guys have Hulu and have the same kind of experience with weird ads. So like they couldn't be any less like relevant.
Right.
I don't know about relevance, but I found it first today. I was watching a movie on Peacock, and I paused it to go to the bathroom, and it popped up an ad.
It played an ad while you paused it?
Yeah, I've never seen any.
I noticed that that's a new ad feature. Yeah,
where they pop up like a little picture or something like that. Yeah.
Well, and they even tied into it. I mean, it was clearly designed for that because the ad was laundry detergent. It said, "Don't pause your laundry." Blah 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 blah.
Oh my god.
So,
that's at least clever.
Since you're going for a pee, we might as well buy
Scotty's
toilet paper.
Yeah. I don't forget the extra roll or something.
That's pretty personal. I watched a couple things. I watched the movie on the Amazon Prime because that's the only one I currently have. and it's like I don't remember what it's called, but it's a comedy horror movie, kind of like with some time travel involved or whatever. It was silly, but I'd never heard of it. It was obviously like made in Vancouver, low budget. Canadian Tyler Laughlin, I think, was one of the characters in it. And I watched The Beekeeper, which was actually a really good movie and probably my second favorite Jason Statham movie right now.
Wow.
The Beekeeper.
That's saying a lot. Man.
Beekeeper, it's good, man. It's a good one. It's one was
So
better.
this is like just trying to find names and themes for a movie, right? We got the special forces guy who's retired, and to get over his issues, he started raising bees and collecting honey. But then they discovered him living in the backwoods of Montana.
That's a really
you gotta watch it to find out what a beekeeper really is.
That's a really long name for a movie, Vern.
Beekeeper.
No,
but it's
that whole thing
good.
He said. Man lost in the woods had the thing.
No, I was doing the synopsis of the show.
Oh, I thought that was the whole title of the movie.
I saw the thing for the movie, and I was thinking, okay, here's a story about a guy who was probably former military, who's probably now living off the grid or something like that, and he's raising bees and collecting his own honey on his little farm, and then all of a sudden, these like bad guys come into town. They either key his car and he has to look the other way, and then they beat him up, and then he has to go get him, or they beat up somebody in his family. Then he has to like go dig up his cache of weapons, and then he goes to take them all out.
Yeah,
I mean, not quite, but it doesn't have to do with AI, but it has to do with like fake phone telemarketer scam things.
Right.
You know,
those are the bad guys, believe it or not.
I know you're exaggerating, but I'm pretty sure there was a movie in the last few years that was about an ex-something hitman agent or something that was raising pigs, and somehow he had to reincorporate his. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like every movie about some.
Yeah.
Is this like John Wick 2, like 200 or something?
Whatever you don't Google the Poco pig farmer.
And in the movie, to dispose of all the bodies, he threw them into like the little pig corral.
The
right?
pig.
That's
they would eat them. Yeah.
The Poco pig farmer is a real
pigs
person.
Would eat them. Yeah.
A Canadian serial killer going down history, man.
Right. Oh my gosh!
And no one's made a movie about it. It's like the nastiest story ever.
We had a pig. We had a pig on the farm that tried to eat my mom.
What?
Yeah, Dad hit it with a shovel to get her out of there.
How many action figures do you think that pig ate?
You're gonna have the ASPCA after you.
They eat everything.
They're gonna be like putting a warning on my.
Well, she would have been. She would have been disappeared if he didn't hit it with a shovel. That's the only way we could get it away from her. The pig was like 17 feet long and it weighed like 14 tons or something.
That was an alligator, John.
It was gigantic.
If before the end of the stream there's a knock on the door.
Not a shark.
John, AI GBT 6.0. Come to the door. All right.
They can't knock on the door. We painted it. It's got fresh paint.
Oh, but if they there's no way to get in through the sliding glass door unless they were going 151 miles per hour.
No, 251.
Oh, 250.
It's rated for 250. Yeah.
You really need to go get 88.
All right. So Sonny's going to watch the replay. He's just wanted to say hello and have fun, everybody.
Hey, Sonny.
Hello, Sonny on the replay only.
Are you watching Jeopardy tomorrow, Sonny? We need your expertise for the answers to the questions.
Jeopardy.
You weren't there last week.
So Toy Jeopardy on Super Awesome Geek Show's channel. What time is that going to be tomorrow?
1 p.m. Eastern, so 10 a.m. Pacific. And I think that's 6 p.m. UK. These two guys at the bottom are playing, Eric and Riff Coast Rick.
Oh. Anybody want to brag yet?
No, I'm getting smoked because like most of the topics are.
You don't watch boxing, do you? You didn't watch boxing where the two boxers get on stage. They never say, "I'm going to get taken out in the first round."
No, that's okay.
Eric,
I'm being
Ninja Turtle questions.
I'm going to be knocked out in 3 seconds.
That's not how trash talking works.
I feel good about like Star Wars, and that's about it.
There's some good Star Wars categories. Because the thing is, I originally knew that it was going to be Stu, Steve-O, and Eric. But Steve-O can't make it. Something came up, so Rick has agreed to take his place because Rick did want to play. And then so there was a few Star Wars questions because I knew that 3 Star Wars people were going to be on, and it falls in. I mean, Rick will know that stuff too, so it'll be all right.
All right,
Nice.
All right, we'll see. I want to. Okay, before the end
I
of the show,
watched all the cartoons.
All
center stage.
all Andor questions.
Plus it fits because no, there is a Clone Wars category, so Eric will know a lot of that, and there is a vintage Star Wars figure category.
Okay.
So Rick will know a lot of that. It'll work out. It'll all work out.
All right. So
Of course, every answer Rick gives will be like, "That's not a real one. That's sun faded or something." Like that.
all I want to know is that the contestants will be required to answer in the form of a question.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. This year,
And apparently they were holding to it because you see last game, Joe blurted out an answer without saying it. The other contestants made us take the points away from him.
well, last
They were
year,
like,
when I
"Nope,
tried to get
it's
you to
gotta
take
be."
points away from Dino, you wouldn't do it.
Them's the rules.
Yeah, well,
they
now
were. They didn't
we're
get
being
followed before. That's why
we're being a lot stricter now. The guys want
this
the
is
guys
a
want it.
positive. And if somebody appropriately uses what are 3 action figures that have never been in my kitchen, that's the right question for whatever action figures have never been in your kitchen.
There's no wrong answer.
That's true. I guess that is the right answer for every question, right?
That's right. What is one cartoon I never watched in my kitchen?
Yeah, there you
And
go.
then we all get the same one.
All right, as promised, we were going to talk about artificial intelligence. Dun dun. And
Do you think that?
hold on.
Do you
Rick-
think
Rick-
in the future that AI is going to get upset with that term? They're going to be like, "Why am I considered artificial? I'm not
In the
artificial.
future,
I'm
it will no
real."
longer be artificial.
Yeah,
Rick-
they're going to be like, "I
It'll
deserve."
just be
those are-
I.
Yeah,
be
those are
called I.
derogatory. That's a derogatory term. I demand my rights.
It will. It will.
This logo was not AI generated.
It's not. You hand drew that.
The Funko part is auto generated.
Rick is 110% against any artificial intelligence artwork.
Fuck AI.
What do the rest of you guys think?
I'll give you my opinion first. It was fun the first day I found out about it.
Okay.
Then ever since then, it's just downhill. Like people will just be unemployed if that's what's
You
allowed
think
to
that's
happen.
true? Well, okay.
Absolutely,
So
man.
what makes you think you would end up becoming unemployed because a generator you can have a generator to generate like an image?
Yeah, but so could the guy who throws the garbage bag in the back of a truck.
I know. Wouldn't that just
So,
create an
like-
awesome job for that guy?
No, because he gets paid good money picking up the trash or
Would
whatever.
you switch jobs
It's-
with him?
That's not a good comparison. It's just not. It doesn't make me want to be a graphic designer guy. You know, like I mean,
Does it
maturing.
So you're saying like seeing the artwork that comes out of an AI generator kind of takes some of the fizzle out of how hard you work on something?
No, because the stuff that you've been using is the stuff that's the unlicensed stuff that you can't use to profit from or make money or you couldn't use any of those and put it on a greeting card and then sell those for $1 at the flea market. Like that would actually be illegal. Okay. There are AI programs like the original ones and the stuff that works along with the Adobe software that is licensable and you can use it because it's not going to draw like Mickey Mouse wearing a Darth Vader helmet or Charlie Brown, with a lightsaber. It won't do that. It knows what's a protected image and it won't steal artwork from those websites. It'll only steal artwork from like websites like mine, like actual artists' websites who aren't necessarily just doing licensed artwork, but drawing toys or drawing landscapes. Like it just kind of steals other people's art, changes it a little bit, and incorporates it into this AI art. And it's
well, is there?
They don't get licensed. They don't get money for that.
But when you create a piece of art and you put it up on the internet, right? You still own it. So is there something to protect your work from somebody arbitrarily pulling it down and using it?
Not really. Like I do Google reverse images, like searches not all the time, but like once a year, I'll grab some of my designs. I'll do a reverse, and I'll see them being sold on all these other T-shirt sites and poster sites and other enamel pin guys. And it's like, oh, and I can't do nothing about it. Literally, I can't, because they're just small little, businesses trying to make a quick buck off stuff. But when it comes to AI art, yeah, you can fool people, and people will think it's real art because you're telling the AI, oh, make it look like it's an oil painting. So then you make copies of this fake oil painting, and then I don't know. It's just not the same, man. It's
what I've been doing is, so here's some of the pictures that I did. John Lennon as Darth Vader, Charlie Brown as Darth Vader, Charlie Brown characters as the Star Trek team. And you can see this is like a free version, but it's not perfect. But because if you look at Charlie Brown over there, he's got 3 eyes.
And probably 6 fingers. And...
He does.
But it's amazing.
He does have 3 eyes. I didn't notice that.
3 eyes.
I didn't notice it.
Well, some aliens in Star Trek have more than 2 eyes.
Yeah, but right. At least this time it practically spelled Star Trek right on the ship. But what Star Trek ship has Star Trek written on it?
Well, you put the word,
and that's like a ship. That's a ship with one giant nacelle that goes all the way across. Too.
It's got a right. So it's not.
Darth Lennon has a blaster of sorts.
Oh, he does.
He wants to give people a chance, dude.
And who's the guy with the red helmet in the background? I love that guy.
Looks like a Rhodian, maybe.
Yeah,
I think it's a Bothan with a red helmet on.
Yeah,
and he's about to die because he got the Death Star plans.
And Darth Vader's coming up wanting you to know why John Lennon's wearing his outfit.
Yeah, you're right. He's bringing a stormtrooper because he's like, "That's mine. Give it back."
I'm get ready for a phone call.
All right. So Rick, I understand this is serious for you, and we're kind of making fun of it with these pictures, right? But none of these pictures are going to take your work away from you.
Not necessarily like directed towards me, but what if someone like Hasbro or Play School or someone did want to pay a toy designer to design some Charlie Brown Star Trek crossover figures for a Play School company or something?
Okay, yeah, I understand that.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not going to replace a lot of jobs, but it definitely can replace that job in an instant. Like,
right, because this Charlie Brown and the Darth Vader I think it looks pretty cool, especially with the yellow and black and stuff like that on his outfit. And I think if there was like a designer going, hey, just clicking the button, generate, and then the image pops up that he's super interested in, they can totally then take that and.
But I get it as I think how I could appreciate it. It would if I used it for an inspiration tool. But
yes,
but I don't want to use the word scared. I won't do it. I refuse to do it. I don't.
You can't back it up because you see the future of where you think it's heading.
Well, it's just because like a year ago, I would have, if I was say drawing a little snow scene, I would Google different snow scenes, what it would really look like. Because it's not always snowy outside kind of thing. Now I could literally go into like this generative art programs like this one, and type that in, and it'll just give me. And I can say, okay, make it look more like an oil painting, or make it look more like a pencil sketch, and I could just get this fake program to make it. I don't know. It's just not right, man. It's not, the whole AI thing is. We should be a little concerned about it.
I think
try to find a person to give money to at Walmart to buy a carton of milk. Try like right now, noon on a Saturday. Go to your local Walmart. Try to go to the one a person and give them a $5 bill to pay for a carton of milk. You probably couldn't.
Yeah, well,
you got to go to the U scan. You got to go to the U scan. Do it yourself.
That's what I mean. Like. There's 20 people's jobs at every store who don't have that job anymore because they can put in 8 little vending machine things or self checkouts, whatever you call them. And that's it. Like they're now an obsolete. They're now an obsolete retail job that doesn't exist anymore. Like,
yeah.
Well, what's next to this guy on the end here? What's this thing hanging down?
I don't even know. I think it's a dead Scooby-Doo ghost. Like it's some weird legs. Yeah.
Right.
And I like the Swamp Thing guy that's behind him. Like, I don't know what that is.
That's like
But you
supposed
can
to be
see
like
they
the
stole
Chewbacca. They're gonna pull off his head, and he's gonna say, "I would have got away with it too if it wasn't."
they
it
stole
wasn't
the
for
idea of
these.
the power of the Force or Vintage Collection Han Solo. Like they're you can see where they're stealing their artwork
Yeah.
for. Like I'm sure that's
Yeah,
Charlie Brown.
absolutely.
There's a Super 7 Charlie Brown on that same angle that they kind of ripped off a 3D head from.
I like how the Boba Fett helmet's just pasted on the back.
And
And
how
it
would
will
that fit
never
over his
fit
head?
on top of the head. It's not big
Yeah.
enough for him to wear. Right. All right. So let me do this really quick. I'm gonna take this down.
You should check their group chat, by the way, on Twitter. There's something I just did on Microsoft Designer.
Can you do Microsoft Designer on Apple?
Hold on a second. So here is the website. Can you guys see it? Okay, so here is the website that I was using, and you guys help me. What do you want me to write in here? I'll say action figure, and what do you want to do an action figure of?
Clubber Lang
Okay,
riding.
Banana boat.
Look at sure. What's a banana? What's a banana boat?
You've never seen the? I don't know. You'd have to look it up.
Flaming llama.
let's see what happens live on air.
What I'm actually curious about is making an actual package design. So saying like,
Oh, I'll do that next.
give me a
Unfake image.
give me a package,
Okay,
like or say like a card back for a
here,
Star Wars.
Boba Fett Kenner card back, and let's see what it comes up with. Does that work?
I want the Star Wars racetrack. You know what I mean? Like, just I don't know if Kenner cardback's going to be enough. I was thinking like, because I was trying to think of a new character or something, and said like with a Star Wars racetrack. Look at that! It did some.
That's not
Holy
bad.
cow!
And it's
Star
kind of got the
Wars.
Kenner. It's kind of got the Kenner kind of logo somewhat right too.
Does this load? Yeah, look.
That second one, Witta say published.
This is the import version.
It's from that other country that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, Bebe. I like how it's Bebe. That one looks cool.
And it's vintage.
It's Star Wars bars.
The other one's different too. The other one's Cars with a K.
This
Vacuum Action Wars.
What is this logo up here?
Oh, look at these! It's got like blonde hair and a big like flaming. It's like a disco.
Disco, yeah.
That was just a flames.
Look at all those X-wings.
Oh, and I put the word Boba Fett on there too.
Yeah.
See, Mike, you won't be able to do this for a long time. Like this, Microsoft will get sued for just even allowing this to be an option.
But what I'm getting at is this is a similar thing to what you've done as your job. You know what I mean? So someone like here's what I'm afraid of is say like someone at Gentle Giant that has hired you in the past to do some package design. Say they just go, you know what? Screw this. If we can do it in AI, we could just do it in house, and I could just say it. Some of them are voice activated. You don't even have to type it.
Yeah, this one is too.
You just speak in and go, give me a Kenner card back of this character, and they'll get the basic design, and someone might just have to tweak it a little bit, but they get the basic thing done. You know what I mean? And then they don't even need to hire you. That's my fear is a lot of these independent guys like what you do, Rick, aren't going to be called upon by these big companies because they'll start realizing they can just get some guy that's already on staff to just say it into their phone or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like I see it again. It can be used as a tool by some of these big companies, like just brainstorming. Like you get 50 images, fake images like this together, and then you as a group of artists or a department, whether it's say Mr. Stevie's Star Wars team, maybe they can print out 100 things like for new ideas and get an idea based off of using those tools. And that's how I see it. I see it can be used as a tool because you can't really take those images and print them out at
No, you got to tweak them. You can't just Yeah. You can't just do them as is. They look weird, you know.
But the thing is, you probably will be able to in a couple weeks if you pay a $20 a month subscription fee to
we
it.
just got canceled.
Yeah. Yeah, he just got canceled. That's funny.
Do you see that hair though? Jeez.
And the companies like Adobe and people bring up the Photoshop, like, why would they need to exist anymore if there's, fake Photoshop? Like, you know what I mean? Like if Vern, if you have a picture that you took and your eyes are red, and you go into Photoshop and you can remove the red eye.
You can remove the red eye.
You can upload your photo to like a robot.
Well, you can do that
and get your eyes
in the new Adobe Photoshop. They have the AI helper, right? So I saw the commercial for it the other day, and the little kid had a picture, and it was like, "Oh, remove the background and put me in a magical land," and then it created a magical land. And it was like, "Oh no, I meant to put me in the clouds," and then it took the person to put it in the clouds. I was like, "Oh, but I want to be riding like a unicorn." Oh yeah, and I want wings on the unicorn. No, bird, and then it gives you like 4 different options for the wings and stuff like that, right? So
that's pretty. It's interesting stuff, man. But it does scare me.
I have to assume that there's going to be some kind of protection for copyrights, licenses, artists, stuff like that. I can't help but see it as another avenue of creativity. I mean, there are
only
people
rule
that
that
YouTube now that couldn't do it before. If I can't draw like you, now I can go on like Vern and create the drag Wookiee people. That's funny.
Yeah, that's
Adobe. When I found playing with Adobe Firefly last week, shortly after last week's stream, was it blocked pretty much every Star Wars term I could think of. Microsoft is not like I just did like Wookiees and whatever Ewoks and clown costumes and other things, but when you started naming like more specific characters, it like I did get some warnings and whatnot. So Microsoft just doesn't seem to be quite as strict as Adobe is right now.
It's interesting, man. We'll see. Like I know YouTube has kind of talked about AI generated voices and how they might stop allowing monetization from that unless they can tell that the creator put in effort to edit a video or whatever the reasons are. But they're thinking about it. It's something they want to
check this out
for, because there's a lot of just fake content on YouTube.
I just entered Todd McFarlane's blue cover contest.
Yeah.
Right? Week 2 was the gunslinger. So basically, I could have wrote that in, taken this image, put it over on his blue sheet, resaved it as the PDF or whatever he wanted, and submitted it and posted it to Instagram or something. And I did not have to draw anything. I just wrote 4 words.
That's a picture that already exists, right?
I would say Todd wouldn't accept that.
What would he know?
I think he would know, because he would look at it and go, "Hey, that's my artwork."
Yeah.
They just mirrored it.
He didn't draw this.
But it literally is just taking his artwork and like making mirrored or one hand up instead of one hand. They're stealing from real artwork. They're not just.
They are. Yeah, they're not just creating it out of the blue
matrix things.
But I mean, I doubt that this.
That's why Adobe Firefly is different, because its library to get from is just whatever Adobe makes. So whether it's clouds or horses or flowers, it's only what Adobe knows is free license. Where this one, it just goes to Google. It literally just goes to Google and types in those words you typed in, finds images and just mashes them together. That's why it takes 3 seconds. Or
you think that the Microsoft is using Google because, or you think it's
what does Microsoft have? Ask Jeeves. Whatever their own personal.
Bing. So it's probably using Bing. So you think what it's doing? It's taking like multiple images of that Spawn gunslinger and kind of mashing them together to create that image.
That is exactly what it is.
Okay,
and I would say it takes from as many images as it possibly can. Like the more images out there are, like now with 3D printers and people that 3D sculpt stuff, there's so many pictures on the internet of people that, like, say maybe 3D sculpted an Incredible Hulk, but they don't work for a toy company or they don't 3D print. They just designed it. It's what they do. They're much like a painter or a pencil drawer, and it's somewhere there. It's on Pinterest or it's on, Facebook, and it can find all of those kind of different images, whether they're JPEGs or PNGs or animated GIFs or memes. It's a weird thing, man. Like just look at us. If we type in Google something, even if you make it up, like Mr. T riding a yellow feathered woodpecker, an image will probably pop up. Literally, like there probably is an image of that someone drew or painted, and it'll get to the point. Guaranteed, someone will have made that in AI at some point and shared it on Twitter or somewhere. And it's like all those images you've been posting over 2 weeks.
Now, I want to tell you a funny story.
Those are forever on the internet now.
Yeah, let me tell you a funny story about this, Rick. Like, so, I was posting some pictures that I took, and I'm just going to pretend like my pictures aren't really crappy pictures. So let's say I took a couple pictures that I was kind of proud of, put them up on Twitter. They got zero traction. I saw like 50 people saw it, but no retweets, nothing like that. But then I went to this AI thing. I made 4 pictures, and within like an hour, hundreds of people had seen them. It's a really weird thing, to between the two.
It's still a new thing, right? It's still like, if we asked our parents about it, like they might not even know about it yet, right? Like we're on the internet a little more than maybe our parents or some people in a different generation. But it's still a new thing, and that's why there has to be rules and stuff. I think.
I think you're right.
In some ways, though, I mean, like it's got to. I mean, the AI has to actually stay with you, though, because I mean, when I was doing some of the images and the AI was chatting back and forth with me, it eventually broke up with me. Did you watch? Did you watch my live stream that when I was making some? I was asking it questions and asking it to make up new toy lines based on 80s things.
You're a nerd.
And eventually, it kept bringing up the Transformers and robots. Uh-huh. And I said to the AI, I said, "Are you bringing up robots all the time just because you're an AI?" And she goes, "Me being an AI has nothing to do with my love of Transformers and robots. I think we've had enough talk and conversation." And it just hung up on you. Like everybody in the chat's like, "It broke up with John. The AI just broke up with him."
You had a difference of opinion over Transformers.
I got dumped by an AI.
Went on a shift change for the next AI person. What if AI is all fake?
Story. I mean,
what if it's all fake and it's just a bunch of people in China,
really
quickly doing it?
Okay. They're really drawn. That's why that line takes so long.
No such thing as AI. It's a slave workshop in China somewhere.
Oh my God.
AI doesn't really work right now. It's a bunch of kids in China. Yeah.
I see your point, Rick. So this is kind of what the actors were striking about in a way was, their image has been taken. And then they're trying to protect the reuse of their image from an AI just taking their image and generating an artificial audience.
A deep fake or something.
It was a new section to add to their contracts and stuff for sure, because it's such a new thing that could be used in the industry. Like if you look, there's some AI videos out there. They're not too great. Like they all have 6 fingers, and you can tell it's fake.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the AI and just still imagery, like it's scary. Like just to say a beautiful woman, for example. Now there's millions of fake beautiful women.
There's YouTube videos with
that have
stuff
millions
like that,
of followers, and they tweet 10 times a day.
There's a company making like $30,000 a month over an AI person.
Yes, and they're not real. Like they're just a blonde hot person in a bikini behind a black door. Boom. And then you look at them real close. They got 6 fingers and
3 eyes or something.
But they look real. Like it's otherwise it's real.
So do you think this guy who's selling the potatoes in England is AI then? Because that dude's like getting hundreds of thousands of views.
Selling potatoes.
Have you seen him, the Spud Man, the guy who makes the potatoes? He's getting like millions of views on his videos. That's got to be AI, right? That you can't be making that many potatoes.
AI knows.
All right.
That's why I'm growing these. So
Yeah, so you make your thumbnails.
That's an interesting thing. I wonder if I could use AI to make my thumbnails, and I wonder if the thumbnails would then become more attractive for my my YouTube videos.
Maybe. I would
did them that way
unsubscribe.
because of the experiment
I would unsubscribe.
No, there's lots of AI. Like again, you can use it as a tool.
Yeah.
Like you did use AI in your thumbnail today, but you still had to yourself physically do some work. So
I did the scripting and writing.
There's other people that don't even do that. They just go generate girl with boobs and Lego thumbnail, go. And then that's
nobody's typing exactly that. Give me a break.
Yeah, there is. We all subscribe to it, does that.
Well, I actually have a question here for you guys, because going back to the actors thing, like I don't really understand or know what they did. Do they have like a clause now that says their digital likeness is protected?
I think so.
Is that kind of what they did?
They did something.
That was the deal.
And then how do these actors feel about someone like William Shatner, who's like, because Shatner has been recording hundreds of hours of himself with this company that's generating an AI version of him, and it's been recording his facial features as he talks and answers questions, it's recording his voice, because he basically said after he dies, which he knows he's going to die because he's 90 something, he's like, I can't possibly have that much longer to go. But he wants the estate, his family, to still be able to have income and use him in new things. So he wants to still be used in commercials and TV shows like that.
Still be
unexplained,
like
Unexplained Zone and things like
forever.
that. Like he still wants to host those shows after he's dead. So he's doing this. He's doing this. But how do other actors feel about that? Like, they're fighting.
An actor who potentially could have gotten that part as the host, or just some actor who was like, or some actor who was like the background character in like a commercial who was never going to get the job as a host. That guy might be upset that some virtual dude is taking his job, but like another actor who thought whose lifelong dream is to be on Unexplained Mysteries, he might be like, I can't believe I'm losing out to artificial Shatner. But I almost think what you're going to get is Shatner on a TV screen in like a soda pop shop in the future, going, I'm William Shatner, and
it'll be more streamlined than that. But I saw an ad recently for I can't remember the name of the product off the top of my head, but it's a text to speech application, and Snoop Dogg is one of the options, and he was in the ad. He was recording himself in the ad and whatnot, and I thought that was brilliant.
It is
to have that as an option.
You guys watch TikTok videos, right? You know that voice that's always like the this guy drove his car into a garage.
The Wes Anderson voice.
They call it the Adam voice, and it's basically one you can just like go to a website, type in the text, and then just click a button.
Yeah, if you know who Wes Anderson, the filmmaker, is, it's his voice that almost all of TikTok mimics now. It's kind of funny.
It's on all the videos that are like, Florida man walked too close to the water with his dog and got eaten by an alligator.
That guy who is that voice, like that's a real person that's still alive right now, should be compensated for that, in my opinion.
Can you imagine a virtually made TJ Hooker? Like they just,
they bring back
for that new video game. He could be a character in GTA 8.
I think what would be cool is after they get all this footage of Shatner, they just make all of his Tech War or Tech World episodes, comics into episodes.
There you go.
Oh, for sure.
Virtual self.
But what's interesting about that is, you can currently go on to their database and have some people have already done this, because it already gives you, like, you can go on there and you can ask it questions, and the virtual Shatner will answer them. And most of the time it's correct, and it doesn't skip. It doesn't, like, you almost can't tell it's not William Shatner. You know what I mean? They've already got so much recorded and so much done that it can actually answer, like, Oh,
Oh,
I
of
was
course.
born in Illinois, and I was a horse. I've ridden horses my whole life. And
Millions of
you know
hours
what I mean?
with
Like,
him, especially, right? He's done so
Yeah,
much
just-
different work
Is
and then
Harrison
over the
Ford
years.
doing the same thing where is he recording himself?
I don't know. Is he? He might.
I thought he
You know
had
what's
done some of that.
Speaking of William Shatner actually called Junkman and Blue Harvest Toys dumb last week on Twitter, or commented on a tweet or something. That was pretty funny.
What?
When you get called out by Captain
Did you?
Kirk on
Did
Twitter.
they really?
Yeah, they did.
Are you serious?
Well, they
That's
tried
hilarious.
to Junkman or someone tried to troll him, and then Captain Kirk got him back, as he does.
Look,
That's funny,
that
dude.
William Shatner has been at the forefront of technology since he went on his 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds.
Well, he
Yeah.
invented the Motorola flip phone, didn't he?
Yeah. He invented it. BJ
Alright.
and the Bear. Yeah.
You know what I realized after this whole AI conversation? None of us have the answers.
No.
So I'm
AI
going
has the answer.
Oh,
I'm
Rick
going to
does.
go to Chat GPT and I'm going to ask it
Ask the question.
what the solution is.
Did
What's
you
the- what's
skip this
the-
episode?
What's the solution to AI taking over?
Yes.
Ask it. Let's see what it says. I don't.
I
It
don't
might just
actually
be
have it,
loose.
but wouldn't it be hilarious
Heather
to type it
Locklear
in and
also
see what
in
it
TJ
says?
Hooker?
It says
Is that right?
Skynet
Heather
will
Locklear, is
prevail.
that the woman in TJ Hooker?
What?
We can make
Was
her
it?
AI. Whoever that hot woman was.
I don't remember.
Sorry.
Is it the same one that was in the Fall Guy?
No,
Oh, different people. Okay.
different hot woman.
All right. So so do you guys have anything else you want to ramble on about AI so it knows how to find you?
If you haven't played with it, play with it. It's pretty weird.
It is
You're
fun.
gonna weird yourself out in the first 20 minutes, kind of like the first time going on TikTok is like, what the hell? Whoa! It's just, but be careful, man. Don't be uploading photos of yourself and stuff.
This is the website that I was just on, putting that in the chat. It's image creator, Microsoft designer, and I think it used to be part of the Bing. But anyways, I want to do something a little bit different. I know Dan's going to probably have to jam pretty soon, but maybe he can take part in a little bit. This is called Flashback to 1985. Now, no use of the internet. Do not use the internet. For those of you watching the show, the only internet you can use is to watch the show. So
Eric, -4.
That is not the right way to write flashback to 1985.
2.
Yeah.
There should be 3 O's.
He's being dramatic.
All right,
If you generate this thing with AI,
Yeah, I generated thumbnail.
this entire show is
AI
AI. I might
generated.
be AI. I might be AI. Okay, so here is the first flashback to 1985. Let me give you a little preface about this. So somebody on Twitter had posted a picture and they showed like all these little cartoon people that look very different, and he had 1985 above it. Then he had like now and had all these pictures of somebody that looked exactly the same. He said, remember a time when like everybody styled themselves to look different? My response was to go into my phone and type hairstyles in 1985 and then click images, and I took a screenshot and I posted it. And I wanted to say, I think you picked the wrong year to compare it to, because in 1985 everybody had that big hair, right? It all looked the same. And all the guys had like the long hair with like the bandana and stuff like that.
Oh, I had the long hair, but not the bandana.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't
I
do
was
the
thinking about
bandana.
1985 when this happened, and I have a couple of questions for everybody. So name one of the top 5 grossing movies in 1985.
What the hell? No one's gonna know that.
Come on.
A Ghostbuster movie?
So
No.
you're saying one of the Ghostbusters you think is one of the
No.
top 5 in 1985?
No.
What came out?
Back to the Future?
Okay. You say
Yeah, Back to the Future, I think, was 85.
Okay. So John's
Um,
got a Back to the Future. Jet Back to the Future. Anybody else have any guesses? Anybody in the chat?
What is Back to the Future?
What?
Was Aliens? What year was Aliens?
It was 85.
What is
Wasn't
Porky's?
Are you looking it up?
No, I'm just
Okay.
guessing what I was doing in 1985.
Eric's trying to think like, this is about 17 years before I was born.
2 years.
Was it made in Canada, Vern?
Gap is saying Beverly Hills Cop. Do you guys think that was
That's a
1985?
good, yeah.
Good guess. Good guess. That's a good guess.
All right. And you guys think those two were like top grossing? What?
Turner and Hooch.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Turner and Hooch.
Tom Hanks and Big.
Remember, we're one of the top 5 grossing movies. Gap is also throwing out Rambo, maybe.
I'm trying
Was
to think
Rambo
like
1985?
which John Hughes movie came out in '85. There had to have been one.
There had to have
16
been one.
Candles.
Breakfast
Right,
Club.
yeah.
All right. All right.
What were they big money makers?
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. You guys ready? You want to see them? You want to see them?
Yeah, let's see
Let's
them.
do it.
All right. The top 5 movies were Back to the Future, Beverly Hills Cop,
Jeez.
Rambo First Blood Part 2, Rocky 4, and Cocoon.
Cocoon with the old guys that had sex with the cocoons
Yeah, it
in
was
the pool.
one of the top 5 grossing movies of the year. Is that
And
crazy?
2 of those top 5 movies were made here.
Yeah. In where?
In the
Canada.
United States.
Okay.
British Columbia,
All
Canada.
right. One was made in Beverly Hills.
Rocky 4 was made here, and Rambo was made here.
All right.
My mom is in Rocky 4, and my late uncle.
All right.
Your mom.
That's your
Can't
1985
really see
history.
them. They're one of thousands of people in the fake Russian stadium.
Oh, that's pretty cool. You ever go out there and run
Your
around?
mom.
All right.
I thought
so-
the Russian was Rocky 3.
okay, so
Rocky 4.
All right.
what movie won for Best Picture in 1985?
Well, it had to be one of those 5, right? Yeah.
No,
Does it have to
no.
be? Those were the
Sure.
top 5 grossing movies of the year.
Then why wouldn't they win Best Picture if that many people liked them?
because that's not how it works.
It's probably like African Queen or some dumb thing.
I've never heard of that movie. What is Cocoon for 500?
So Jonathan's saying if I go by IMDb, the list is wrong. I did not go by IMDb. I went by Wikipedia
Ask Jeeves.
because you know that, and I used a little AI.
AI generated questions and answers.
So the Best Picture in 1985. Anybody? Nobody has a guess. Not one person.
Terms of Endearment. I don't
Okay.
know.
I think
Terms of
Cocoon. I think whoever's
Cocoon.
Cocoon.
Okay, so we got Cocoon. Joseph Bett is saying E.T. Rolando says he said Cocoon, and
I think it
then
was Cocoon.
also
It won awards.
Rock Me Amadeus. Yeah, that was
okay.
it.
So Gap is Rock Me
The
Amadeus.
Color Purple. Yeah, The Color Purple was an Academy winner. I don't know if it was.
They just remade that with the girl from Peacemaker.
And wasn't Oprah in it again?
Oprah.
Probably. I think it's she.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready? Ready? Anybody? Amadeus.
Amadeus. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Amadeus was not even a top grossing movie of the year.
Amadeus.
won the
Amadeus,
Academy Award.
Most
Amadeus.
Academy Award winners are not. Big
Right,
grossers.
they're the
Yeah,
ones
they
that like,
don't-
pretty much
yeah.
nobody sees until after
Rocky was.
an Academy Award.
That was back in the day when I thought the Academy Awards were rigged
The
because
Notebook.
it's like we have to give it to a movie that nobody watched. That's
Right.
art. It's an art movie.
Yeah.
People don't get it because
Okay,
only
anyway,
we understand it.
as the Toy Duo team, let's test our memories here. What was the most popular toy in 1985?
GI Joe.
I think it's Masters of the Universe. For
Big deal.
a couple years in a row, Mattel's
Cabbage
Masters
Patch
of the
Dolls.
Universe was
I didn't
number
say action
one.
figure. I said toy.
Cabbage
Patch.
Oh, toy! It might be a big wheel then,
Big wheels.
or the Rubik's cube.
I'm
You know
thinking
what I
Big
mean?
Wheel for boys
Yeah.
and Cabbage Patch
Man.
for
Was
girls.
it a monster? Or, yeah.
Star Wars.
No, it wasn't Star Wars by '85.
85.
That was the last year of Star
right.
Wars, and it was failing.
So you say like
Teddy
the big wheel?
Ruxpin.
I don't remember Big Wheel.
Yeah,
being
like
on
Teddy
the-
Ruxpin. Yeah.
Teddy Ruxpin. Did you have one of those, Eric?
I had a kissy fur.
Look, Gap is saying Teddy Ruxpin. Okay, you guys want to see it?
Spirograph or
Teddy
something. right?
Ruxpin.
Oh wow! All
It
right.
sold 41,000.
That's not Teddy Ruxpin, though. What the hell are you having
That's a
there?
modern
Whatever.
That's
version.
some monstrosity.
An AI.
That's-
Teddy.
That's an
Yeah,
AI.
that's some weird
That's the AI
monstrosity.
Oh, I did watch the first 2 episodes of the new Ted. Oh my god, it's freaking brilliant, man.
I need to watch
it?
that.
It's very well
What's
done.
it on? What's it on?
Oh, the internet.
Peacock.
All right, you guys ready for the last?
It's
think
on
this is the last
Peacock,
question.
John.
Okay.
In 1985, what is the importance of Famicom?
What?
What is the importance of Famicom to 1985?
That's the first time I've ever heard that word.
Is that
You don't know
a real
what
word?
Famicom is? Famicom was the Japanese Nintendo Entertainment System. And
And?
the Nintendo Entertainment System came out in 1984 because that's when I bought one. I saved up all summer.
1985 it came out, John.
No, I saved up all summer to buy the
Nope, it was 1985.
the
according to
NES and the
interwebs.
Ask
and a
Steve.
TV.
Nope. In 1985, the Nintendo Entertainment System was released in Europe and America after it was retuned.
Do you want me to get the box down and show you the date on it?
I want you to show me the receipt.
It's in the box. It's in the box. I'm serious. If I get the box down, the receipt will be in the box.
According to what I was looking up, it said that Famicom redesigned their game system, which was released in 1983, and in 1985 they released it in the U.S. and Europe.
If it's wrong, Vern can go back later and edit this to be correct. Or AI could do it. And speaking of award shows, I know all the Emmys happen for all the TV and all that stuff. And it's, I think, like 100+ nominations between Andor and Better Call Saul. By far the two best TV shows of 2023. And I don't think they won diddly squat, man. I'm a little sad about that.
Who cares about the award shows are stupid.
I made a theory that Andor was going to win all the awards, and it was wrong.
Get the box, John.
That's all.
Everybody's asking for the box. They want to see the receipt.
He's asking Jeeves.
No, like Famicom was in Japan, but when they redesigned their gaming system that they released in '83, they released it as the Nintendo Entertainment System.
In Canada, it was called Le Nintendo.
Yeah.
Okay, this says that this is weird though, because what do you count as the official release? Because according to this, it says the NES, which is a redesigned version of the Famicom, was released in America in certain markets on October 18th, 1984. It became widely available everywhere in North America and in other countries in 1985. It became widely available in North America and other countries in 1985. So what is the release? Is it when it became widely available, or when it was unlimited markets?
So the problem is, if it was in October 1984, that would have been in fiscal year 1985.
And it would have been Canada in 86.
Because that makes sense why I saved up all summer and bought
here.
it. Yeah.
And it's funny in one of the episodes of Ted, because it takes place in like 19.
Yeah,
I think it might have been 86 because they went to the store and they had Super NES.
Right. I could easily just change that slide to
they had boxes of Segas and Super Nintendos at the department store. It was pretty cool. I like seeing that stuff.
What does Famicom? What is the importance of Famicom in the mid 80s? That's what I'll change it to.
There it is.
Wow, that's the deluxe set too. So
it came with AI back then. That robot.
Yeah.
You gonna pull the receipt out?
Yeah, I am.
John's like, I am right. You were wrong. I'm gonna prove it.
That's the exact one I bought when I was a kid.
Let's make him full screen so I can eat crow.
Can't believe the ink is still on the receipt.
I know.
Well, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. I'm saying the official
No. Once you pull that receipt out, if it says 1984.
So my local Toys R Us closed down last week.
There's a flap on the side. That's how you
open me in advance.
I'm trying to look at the box to see what the box says.
So I don't think Toys R Us is going to last much longer anymore.
Says deluxe set, Nintendo Entertainment System.
And they raised their prices.
The box says 1985 on it. It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's not unlikely for them to put 1985 on a box that they put out in 1984.
That's true.
They were like saying, "This is the Nintendo Entertainment System. This is the future."
Yeah.
When you get it, you're not just in 1984. You're in 1985.
You got the power glove.
Power glove. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The power glove.
Oh no, it's jumping all over the place.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. We'll wait.
In the 1980s, the hardcore raptor.
The inserts.
Cap gun.
I never owned a Nintendo, any Nintendo ever.
That's too bad.
Really?
I had Sega. I still have it.
Book and everything. You know?
Wow.
My old Sega.
Does
That's
that actually? No, never mind. I bet you there's instructions. Lift the lid in the front, then insert the cartridge.
Yeah,
Insert cartridge.
But back in the
then
80s, you guys weren't lucky enough to also have French instructions, were you?
no.
Oh, look at this! Look at
The
this!
late
So the inside of the instructions. This is even more confusing.
1986.
It says 1986, so
it
the
was
box says
printed in the
85. This says 86. It's like, what the hell?
You were reading something that was printed in the future.
Yeah, apparently.
Anyone remember what it cost back then? Was it probably still like $100 or?
Oh,
I think it was $89.99 for just the thing. I think that's what I remember.
I had to
I
save
remember
up
being
like
$100
all-
in Canada.
Yeah, I did too, John, but I didn't get mine until I think late 86.
Was Joseph in Ottawa? Does he remember the great rapper Tom Green?
I don't know.
Check the OR?
Well, John is doing that. There's been some breaking news. Mr. TV is letting everybody know that he is going to be taking over as the lead design and development for the Hasbro Star Wars team, and he's also going to do the Marvel team. Who's excited about this news?
It's good.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh,
good.
Mr. Stevie's awesome. He's a great person in our community. If you don't follow him, like he's a collector as well. He's worked with Hasbro a long time. He's previously worked with the Star Wars team as the same title. And yeah, he's only going to bring. No one should be disappointed with a little bit of a move like this because there's some kind of shuffle going on. But I'm extremely excited. It can only mean one thing, that Hammerhead's coming. More retros are coming. The
Well, I'm sure,
collection
absolutely
collectors will be
retro.
happy.
But do you think that he'll want to like maybe bring some OG kind of characters back into the Black Series line? Some ones
I
that we
don't-
didn't get.
I
More
don't
of a
see him
likelihood.
changing a lot. I see he's just going to help them along again. And, what he's done in the past, he did work on some, like bringing the vintage collection back when it was gone for a while. And he kind of was around when the new retro collection came out. So he's a big part of the 3.75-inch community for sure. So I think that's good because that means hopefully that line will continue, that size of figures. But the 6-inch collectors are a new big thing, and they're not going to stop making the figures that people
Well,
want.
no, that's not what I
Yeah.
mean. I'm saying, do you think that for Black Series collectors, do you think we have more of an opportunity now? Because I think from seeing him on his Instagram and stuff like that, he seems really in tune to like the characters that kind of built Star Wars. So I'm wondering, like, can we look forward? You think like he's going to be pushing like, hey, let's put Lobot into the line. Let's put,
You'd hope. You'd hope, but like from what I've seen about him, and by the way, I just discovered his YouTube channel, and I highly recommend checking out his YouTube channel. He does these like 10-minute kind of ish long videos, like showing his collection and talking about different topics, like trying to get a job in the toy industry and whatnot. But from what I can see, the guy's totally genuine and whatnot, and he's definitely one of us. The only thing I can think of is if we don't get that, what you just described for him, getting some of the kind of classic characters we'd want in the Black Series and seeing other things happen across like TVC and retros, right? Is Lucasfilm has too much control over the pipeline.
For
right?
sure.
right. I would agree, right? Like,
Because if under his direction and kind of leadership, things don't kind of shift in certain directions, you have to believe that Lucasfilm has too much control.
They have a lot of control. Like,
I can buy into that.
Steve's background is much like what my artwork, what I do. He's a graphic designer originally,
Yeah.
and he worked into package design and a lot of that stuff. And so there is people that do that stuff, whether they work in-house at Hasbro or they're similar to me, they're subcontract some stuff out. He's just like, it doesn't mean they're going to be changing a lot of stuff. As we know, like a couple of years ago, there was another shuffle again where different people got moved into different departments and stuff like that. So it's
Sure.
So Do you see this as like a good thing or a bad thing, Rick? Because I'm wondering, like,
Only good. I only think good can become
do
a
you
good.
think that this
I like
means
Mr.
somebody's
Stevie a lot.
getting out? Do you think this means somebody's getting outed? They're releasing somebody, and that's why he's having to pull this double duty, and that it's more of a streamlining effort? Or do you think it's more of a let's streamline and hopefully this person will be able to like enhance the line?
Honestly, I think it's kind of like what they do in our government here in Canada. Like they have a little cabinet shuffle, like, you know, provincially. They're like, okay, we'll take the Ministry of Education and we'll make him the Ministry of Social Housing or something. Just for whatever reason, I always thought it was a silly thing, but it is a good thing when they do this kind of stuff. So it's not, everything's not all corrupt and, you know, one-sided and stuff like that. And in this industry too, we've seen different people go from designing Marvel figures to designing board games to designing, you know, oh, we're bringing back My Little Pony or something. We need, so they don't always have a choice. Like, and it just happens to be that Steve is a fan of the properties he's always worked on, whether it's, I think James Bond Jr. was something he talks about, a toy line he worked on and he's very proud of, right?
Really?
And then the Valaverse guy, you'll hear about some of the toys he worked on before he got to design like some Marvel Legends figures. So, you know, you don't always get to choose. You may get the same salary and job duties, but maybe they move people from the Star Wars team to the Marvel team, or you never know, man. I'm sure we'll hear more about it. I'm sure Stevie will be part of this next Hasbro fan stream.
Well, I
predict lots of cool stuff.
Well, that's
pipelines.
So Monday, right, or the 23rd at of course 11, 10, 8, 9, 10, 8 o'clock in the morning. I won't be watching because I'll be busy doing
Sleeping.
Important stuff, like working. But yeah. What's your predictions?
I predict they'll film it Monday, and then they'll play it on Tuesday.
So you don't think it'll be live?
They don't do them live anymore.
But do you think that if he's taking over, he'll want to do a live?
I don't think it's up to him. I don't think
he hasn't been on the Legends once recently.
I'm hoping. I don't know. I'm just hoping he'll be part of it because he is part of the social media. He's a social media aspect, an influencer. We'll just call him an influencer because that's a safe word.
100%.
But
they made that.
He might not be part of it at all. He might not be part of it at all.
I think they made the announcement. I think he should totally be in on it to introduce himself and to talk about kind of what he wants to do, where he sees and the line, and to provide input to give fans like the idea that start getting excited about it.
On one of the social posts I saw, it was like, I guess it doesn't rule out including him in the process, but they did say it was specifically Jing, Chris, Eric, and what's her name from TVC,
and Emily.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those people are leaving. I think they just added. I think they kind of added this spot to the Star Wars team because he was already doing this for the Marvel team.
Okay,
so I think they just kind of are just to give the Star Wars team a little.
Well, there was that one woman. There was Chris's boss, right? The blonde-haired woman. I can't remember her name. Because Steve is on like the design side, right? Yeah. So it would be in that kind of org. I mean, I have no inside information, but I wonder if she's still around or if she just reports to Steve now, or what the deal is.
I think they all report. They all report to Steve now, where they might have just reported to. I think Val girl is more the marketing leader of the team. So when they do these, I think her name's Val, the Asian girl.
Jing.
Well, okay, maybe that was her second name or something. I think she's the leader of the marketing side of the team.
You just got canceled.
Jing, I think, still reports to like Patrick or something.
Yes,
keeping track of everybody's names who you do know and the ones you don't.
How the heck do you people know who reports to who at Hasbro?
Well, because they've said it, right? Like, and you can infer based on their job title and like they work on Star Wars or whatever, right? Like that. there's a reporting structure in place.
See, I always just thought that like Patrick was the PR guy. He wasn't actually in
No.
charge of anything.
He's like the marketing director or something.
I think
Yeah,
that's
but
what-
that means he's a PR guy.
Dissect the statement. Does that mean like if they all the ones that got fired stood on a scale together, they would weigh tons?
Oh, they weighed
Wait, what?
more than the Earth itself.
Would it be a metric?
They
ton,
would.
though?
They couldn't all ride the elevator at the same time because it would exceed the maximum weight limit.
Yeah, they would. They had to take
In a-
turns leaving Hasbro. They couldn't leave at once.
In
If
any
anything,
case,
like if anyone is losing a job out of this,
Yeah, that's
it's not going to be the people that we kind of know about, but it might be some people who work in the actual design team in-house, or
you don't
people
really
that-
know who they are
because they are using a little more subcontracting to outside sources now, much like some of their competition is. So
Sure, like
I think that's part of it.
Joe or Jill test painter, the person who goes in there and paints up some of the arms or something like that.
Those people aren't going anywhere. Those people are needed.
Yeah.
But I
I
mean,
mean, like if they have
if they
five
have
of
five
them,
different
if
people,
they have five of them, two of them might.
that's
might-
right. If they have 5 people 3D designing Star Wars and GI Joe figures,
Right.
maybe they're
Then
going to.
they got rid of 4 of them because they realized they could just go to Microsoft Designer.
AI.
AI.
Hey man, it's
I was waiting for that to come out.
John,
in general, it seems like good
from
news, though.
1987.
I think only good can come of it for sure. I'm a huge fan of Mr. Phoebe, as you all know.
I'm gonna say that I was wrong, and I think it was 85. I must have saved up all summer of 85 to buy the Nintendo.
All right. And I'm
That's
going to
what
say I was wrong, John. I think you totally got it the day it came out in the limited market.
You were
in
the first in
1984.
America with one.
Because like I know I know that
somehow
one of-
bought a book that wasn't printed until 1986.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I know that some of these. I was looking through a number of the cartridges here. The Kid, these are all the ones I bought when I was a kid. These are I've had these all since I was a kid, and same with that Nintendo. And I know that one of these I've run across it when I was going through and looking at my cartridges, and every once in a while I play them all to make sure they still work. And I found all the receipts stuffed in one of these boxes, and like just to give you an idea, unfortunately it's none of the ones I pulled out right here, so it's a different one. But just to give you an idea, like I kept everything. I've got the cartridge. Like every one of these things has the insert thing.
Have you blown on it?
It's got the booklets.
That's a thing, right?
All the maps, and it even still has all the advertising cards and crap that were in these things.
I'm pulling
You know
a
what I mean?
dandy.
Like I never got rid of anything that's in these. They even still have the all the foam spacer things in them.
Wow.
That is wow.
You know what I mean? Like
Interesting.
I don't know why I was so meticulous as a kid, but I just kept
Dan has all the foam pieces from his original games also, but they're just built into dioramas.
I just used them all.
Yeah.
I've used them all to make dioramas. Yeah. But I know that I've run across them when I was playing them. Just that I found one or two of the cartridges that had like a bunch of receipts shoved in it. So I thought that I had the receipts in each box. But I think what must happen is I must have put them all in one or two boxes to save them. Because I was shocked that some of the games, even back then, were $60, $70, and I didn't remember that. And I was like, so have games stayed the same price forever? Like, I think Final Fantasy was like a $60 or $70 game when it came out.
Gosh, that is
I do
crazy.
remember that.
I can't believe you spent that much money.
So, are you going to ask any predictions for the Hasbro Star Wars stream? Have we got to that section of our show yet?
Oh yeah, I mean, do you guys have any?
Well, that's
predictions?
he was.
Well, there's
Have
some
any predictions what we're gonna get.
I have a
There's some of
couple.
the pipeline stuff like the Droidica, right? That's
big
on
droid,
the
yeah.
cards. Yeah. What else? Maybe Kiadi Mundi. Maybe we finally see him.
See some
One-
real
one
pictures
The
hundred-
now?
Jedi known as Kiana
Yeah, good call, Eric. I
Monday.
think we'll see both of those. Usually we'll see-
100% pipeline reveal for a clone trooper.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
think.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, no,
safe to
didn't
say-
Yakface
And-
share something?
And
Yeah.
pipeline reveal for
Another Darth Vader.
Mace Windu.
I think we're gonna see 20th anniversary for episode
Animated?
2
Yeah.
is coming up. So we're gonna see stuff for episode 2 for later in this year, I believe, if they announce it soon or not. But it's also the 20th anniversary of Shadows of the Empire.
Ooh.
So I do think they're gonna make some Black Series.
Prince Caesar.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make some Black Series.
Luke
Purple
Skywalker
cards
in the red stormtrooper outfit.
celebrate. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because Pablo Hidalgo, whatever the frick his name is, made a tweet a couple weeks ago mentioning that
you want to ask AI
24 was 20th anniversary of Shadows of the Empire. I just think that means something to Star Wars, and it would be
you know what they're gonna do? Yeah,
Hasbro did make some toys based on it.
Yeah, Rick's right, because here's what happened. Boba Fett, IG-88, and Princess Leia Bausch were all in Shadows of the Empire.
Yep.
And they've got those 3 figures already done, so they're gonna put them on purple card backs.
Make Chewbacca with a new head and make him the Snuva character.
And then they're gonna do they're
Dash
gonna make just
Rendor.
like Dash Rendor and Prince Caesar.
Yeah, that's
all of those are going to be pipeline reveals because they don't have any images of those figures.
You never know.
Well,
you never know.
They have IG-88.
And I also predict a retro wave of Star Wars that includes Hammerhead. And I'm positive they're going to eventually make a play set, even if it's just cardboard. It's going to happen in the retros.
For the retros?
Yeah.
We got to get Snaggletooth then. Also.
If it's not a big
this is what I think, though. If they make a play set, Rick, I think it will be a vintage collection play set. I think it'll be.
Oh, I think they're already doing vintage
Comic-Con. It'll be like the Comic-Con reveal or whatever, and people will end up getting it just to use with their retros.
I think that they should stop making a board game that includes a cool new figure, whatever it is, and make a play set that includes a new figure.
Yeah, but
they will sell
from their
tons of them. Tons of them.
All right. I think that's pretty good. So we're gonna write all those down, and next week we're gonna say which ones.
But I don't think there's gonna be any next week, though.
They did Padme and Anakin.
I think the vehicle we're gonna get this year is pod racers
for Black Series.
I don't.
That could be cool. It could be done.
Yeah, they could do the Anakin's pod racer. Yeah.
And I bet you they try to do a Black Series HasLab again. I don't think they announced it Tuesday. But I just have a feeling like, with Stevie back in there, it's the one brand of Star Wars they haven't had a successful, crowd fund for. I think they need to do it to keep that line.
There was really only one. It was just one. It was the Rancor, and that was it. And people I guarantee the Rancor would fund if it was just marketed a bit differently.
For sure. And
like they didn't give you a Salacious Crumb card back, and then they immediately said you're going to get a Rancor Keeper, then you're going to get like stuff that's relevant to.
For sure, if they just immediately said Rancor Keeper for $200 or whatever, it would sold out. It would sold out.
Yeah. You know what I think would be really cool? Remember those slotted race car tracks or whatever?
Slot cars,
yeah, the slot car tracks. Oh. If they did something like that, and then you had these like molded rocks in like a canyon or something like design, and the slot cars were like the pod racers.
That would be cool.
I totally get it.
Not in Black Series scale. That would be way
no, like a slot car. Like the ships would be like this big, but they would speed around the track, and then it looked like it was going through.
I'm surprised Lego didn't do something like that. Really they have mechanics in there.
Yeah,
they got They now have those track things that go around. Yeah.
And Vern, I was going to say you should reach out to Steve Evans and ask him on a show one Sunday.
I can definitely ask him, but if
don't forget to mention you're part of the #1 toy podcast.
If you guys,
you're the one with the connection, Rick. You've had.
Well, I know if I asked him, he would definitely give me a fair answer or whatever. But I mean, I'm just saying you should do it.
But I think I've asked other people, and like I know I sit in their like little Instagram purgatory. I'm not that big.
You know what was funny? You want to hear something really strange and funny? So when I was doing my podcast when I lived in Seattle, I was getting a lot of voice actors and comic book writers and artists like on the show to do little, even if it was just 5 or 10 minutes, they'd pop on and talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
But when I moved to Florida, even some of the same people I talked to before, I asked them to come on, and I got a number of people who responded saying, it was cool when you were a Seattle podcast, but now that you're a Florida podcast, I don't want to come on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to be associated with you.
Like they don't want to be associated with Florida. So they were like, you shouldn't.
I mean,
you should have kept your address as Seattle because
well, we all understand that, right?
It's cooler if you're in Seattle. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Canada.
Makes sense.
But you could pretend like you're in Seattle. You can just put
a
Starbucks logo right over your head.
Just change your ISP on VoIP or whatever.
You just have to close the windows and hide all the people like high on bath salts.
Yeah,
hide all those shadow aliens.
All right, let's do
their dogs.
The hot or not. This week's reveals. Here's what the toy companies are trying to peddle to us this week. If it's hot enough for your collection or not, a definite pass. Anyways, I pulled 4 pictures, I think, off the internet. I wanted to mention Neca's open. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Did you get the one I sent?
Yes. 2, right? There were 2?
2 different sets. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Neca Vault is opening every Monday in January at noon Eastern time. So that's 9 Pacific for Neca Vault drops. And until the stuff sells out. And last week they put up their $400 metal lunchbox that's based on it was like $300. It's sold out. It's based on the character, the cowboy character from the Django Unchained. So
okay,
that's what that was.
You pay that much for this?
Because it's a metal lunchbox,
isn't it?
A thermos keeps your food warm all day. So perfect for having soup for lunch, I guess.
Okay, sure.
They had this guy came back up $99 if you were interested in a D&D dude or whatever. So
that's
Monday
got
the Neca Vault because
a 2-pack or a 4-pack or something.
Yeah, so all their exclusive stuff, they're probably cleaning out their warehouse now. That kind of similar to what Hasbro was doing. But every Monday they are opening up their vault.
Can I ask a question about the text you brought up a little bit ago?
The text?
Did you write that, or did you get it from their website? Because
this says a screenshot from them.
It says. Now help me figure this out. It says, remember, $9.99 flat rate shipping on all domestic in-stock orders, no matter how many different items you get, no matter how many items you get. Limit 1 Neca Vault product per customer.
Yeah.
No, so one of each Neca Vault product per customer. So last week, if you had bought this lunchbox and this dude, you would have paid $10 for shipping.
Oh, you could buy one of each. Okay.
On John's question, though, do you think they would honor that to Canada? Because it does not say except for Canada.
So domestic.
Yeah,
means that.
But you're not domesticated. Home. No, you're not domesticated. You're a savage.
I'd be in a litter box. I'm domesticated.
You're a savage. You're
savage.
You're still wearing. You guys are still wearing loincloths and hunting with spears up there.
Almost.
And Jono in the chat is right. I bet you they announced at least one Vader and at least one Boba Fett and at least one more Mando
and a clone trooper.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
which is fine.
Bye, Dandy.
Okay, Dan.
Cheers, Dan.
See you next week. Okay, so then Mondo has the soft vinyl Juggernaut. It's on a timed release. I don't know when the time runs out, but probably after the show. So if you want to spend $500, I don't know how much it is. It's probably expensive because it's a 12-inch figure or whatever, I think, and it looks cool. I don't know that much about it.
No, not
nobody.
It'd be cool if it was like a little mini, like a little.
Yeah, I don't think anybody here is going over to Mondo to buy this stuff, right?
These prices are way too high. How do they even...
My buddy Jay did call me yesterday. And he's like, "Oh man, on Facebook Marketplace, this guy has got like 8 of those 12-inch Mondo Masters Universe. He wants only like $1,800. I think I should jump on him." I'm like, dude, that's like buy a car, dude.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. So the timed edition, it's over. Apparently, it's sold out. It was $200. I thought it still had another day. So sorry about that. Didn't mean to send anybody over to Mondo.
Seems pricey.
Yeah, it's like the 12-inch. It's just like those other Masters of the Universe ones that they were building. Then McFarlane pulled this out of their hat.
Sofubi. Sofubi's different.
Yeah.
It's like jumbos. They're blow mold toys as opposed to articulated action figures.
So Christian Bale, Batman, anybody?
Kind of looks like Christian Bale, but not really.
The new promo pics he posted today look really good.
Yeah.
It's neat, but I don't really need it.
Nobody. I'm not a big McFarlane guy, but I thought it was kind of
okay. Hold on. Here, I got to bring this up. Okay.
Is it the other Batman?
So I could go online right now and buy this completely authentic vintage cowboy metal lunchbox for $32.
But it doesn't have a cartoon image of the guy from the Titanic.
Non-licensed.
He's right there.
That other one's from Django Unchained.
Isn't that Leonardo DiCaprio?
That was in a movie.
I think that was autographed too.
In a movie.
Oh, look. Well, this is Bonanza then. Go get Bonanza.
Yeah,
the Cowboys are riding right at the street.
Okay, John, I got to see the Bonanza. Show me all the pictures of the Bonanza because is Hop's thing on there?
Bonanza's awesome.
That one's only $89.
Which one of the brothers is on there?
I don't know.
Haas on there?
Lauren Green, front and center.
Adam on there? No. Are those
Michael Landon?
Well, the dad, that's Michael Landon there, and that's Haas. Where's Adam?
Is he the green guy?
Where's the guy that worked for them?
No.
Here's a true story based on Bonanza, Lauren Green, and I think Joseph Bett is also from my hometown of Ottawa. My dad used to build houses when I was younger, and he built a house for the Canadian great Lauren Green.
Oh my gosh! This one is Chuck Norris, the American Cowboy.
Oh, how much? How much is that one?
$42.
Oh, that's
I've never seen Chuck Norris play a cowboy.
I'm just saying that, like,
you never saw The Rifleman.
I'm just saying I would much rather buy a vintage, authentic metal lunchbox for these prices than spend $500 or whatever the hell that new one was.
$300. It was $300. All right, so here is the Ben Affleck version of the Batman. How many of you are running out to buy this one? The Batman, Superman.
The dude bought them all, right?
Yeah, probably for his new
Batman.
Dave.
Of course, he bought it.
Well, we'll see.
That's good, but I'm assuming this is the 8th release with this exact same one.
Maybe,
but with extra pins in his elbows. I don't know.
So I have the like a Mafex version of this guy, and I think that one's perfect because it's a 6-inch. It fits into my regular scale. Wasn't Walker Texas Ranger basically?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
All right.
See, like I do think that like McFarlane's figures look great.
They're getting better,
but there are just way too many different Batmans. Where it's like, do you really need another Batman? You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
I get it.
Yeah.
Though. It is.
You need an infinite number
one
of
character, right?
To stand next to Boba Fett.
But he'd be an inch taller.
Right.
But I can see. I guess I can see it for someone who has like a strict Batman focus. Like if you were only buying Batmans, it is kind of cool to have this many different versions.
Batman.
Yeah, every version.
Every
ever
but there's always a Batman available, right?
Yeah.
Batfleck.
What about this thing? I mean, like this is from some comic or something.
It's pretty cool and unique. It's not my thing.
I actually have this one that has the black wings instead of the
have
gold.
it too. So what do I? And the legs keep falling off. So what do I need another figure where the leg's going to keep?
And then they did it in black and red, and then they did it
it's a repaint then.
Yeah. This is
yeah.
Look cool the first 5 times they released it, but come on
Amazon Canada if anyone's looking.
Yeah. So
mine hasn't fallen apart. I don't know why yours is. Mine hasn't fallen apart. I don't know why.
How many of these new figures are going to become collectible? Is his thing. It's not like they're retro. They're all going to be collectible.
But in 50 years, we're going to find a warehouse full of McFarlane Batman figures, and they'll be worth tens of dollars.
Tens, 9.
10 will be like worth $1 billion.
Did you guys see
how awesome this is?
This jumbo Boba Fett?
Yeah, the jumbo Boba Fett. Yeah, someone sent me a link for it, I think.
So Entertainment Earth is shipping this, and General Giant hasn't even got it yet.
That's crazy.
That usually doesn't happen. Usually, I
Do you know the person who did the artwork for the card?
No, no, I didn't do the card. I did the figure.
But nice.
I designed this figure.
You designed it.
That's awesome.
With Ahsoka. So I'm kind of looking forward to this one
more. How many of these did you get to sign your closest friends?
I got one for my mom.
Will they send you one of each that you designed if you designed them, or do they usually do? I know you got the Ahsoka, but I was just wondering if you'll end up with this too.
They have so far. I've only bought one jumbo figure.
Nice.
I still want to find a Yoda, but every time I see it go, it's too expensive.
It's crazy, man. I was at my toy traders again 2 weeks ago, trading in some toys, and I have my jumbo 4-pack, like an early bird, R2, Chewbacca, Luke, and Leia, and it's like a suitcase. The thing,
it's big.
Huge, right? I can't display it in my little 32-foot square apartment, so I'm trying to sell it, but all the people that have offered to buy it live in Ontario or Florida, and it will cost $200 to ship this thing.
Yeah.
So I went there to try and trade it, and I'm like, "Hey, you got jumbo Boba Fett over there?" I go, "Let's work a trade." He wanted $500 for jumbo Boba Fett, man.
No, that's too much. I saw him at Comic-Con last year for much less than that.
That is too much.
Yeah.
When they're $300 online, but still, I can't do it, man. I can't spend that much on one, as much as I want a jumbo hammerhead.
All right. And then Dan was showing me these. These are the little armory accessories that are available on Big Bad Toy Store. They're from TomTech. If you are a 6-inch action figure collector and you need some accessories like a shovel,
or a sledgehammer, or duct tape,
knife. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Roll of duct tape. That's actually pretty cool.
It is duct tape, an X-Acto knife kind of thing.
I think this is like around $30 for all that stuff, but it looks pretty cool. Everything's in like a kind of a matte color, so you'd have to do some painting probably for like the handles.
1/12 is a 6-inch scale figure, right? Yeah.
Scale.
I'm an accessory whore. I love accessories. I know Vern does too.
I love them. This looks really good. The duct tape would be really kind of cool. The sledgehammer I really like. And that chainsaw you're going to get with like one of those G.I. Joes, right? But I mean, if you need an extra chainsaw that looks more...
Or what's that Ash guy from the horror movies? He's got like a chainsaw arm.
Looks like they've got a karambit.
Yeah, sometimes I think about those figures like the Ash versus the those figures just for the accessories, right? Like
for sure. Like the Neca War Duke I just got, he's got like 4 swords and like 3 daggers and 4 hands, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't need all this extra crap. You can't hold it all.
Yeah. So I almost got the Freddy Krueger because of the hat. I wanted the hat when I was trying to make a custom Indiana Jones, but I think it would have been a little bit too big. But anyways, along with the armory is this little armory rack where you can keep all your accessories and stuff like that. So I thought that looked pretty cool. I like it because when you think about like the his tank, it has like an armory rack inside, so the rifles and stuff fit really cool on there. So this would be really cool to like sort of display your stuff in the background. But I think that was it. I mean, it was a light week. I didn't see very much out there. Did I miss anything?
I saw a new Shogun Godzilla.
I didn't see the Shogun. Oh, but it's a smaller one.
Yeah,
it's
the 7-inch scale.
Yeah, the Ultimates one. That was where are the pictures for that? Hold on. I thought I put the pictures on there.
Have you even looked at that Google Drive yet?
Yeah, that's what I pulled those pictures down and I'm like, you're right. I had that picture. Hold on. I'm not going to the Google Drive. I have it actually on my computer because
And did you see that the Godzilla maker was invited to the Lucas Ranch to show off his
movie? Wasn't that cool?
And Dave Filoni, you can see him in photos with like a big boner and a smile, like something's happening, man.
I don't think we saw the same photos, Rick.
I saw the same photos. He couldn't be a happier camper, man. Like, so guarantee there's something that works for that guy in the future for Star Wars, whether it's some shorts or some.
Are you trying to tell me they're going to do a Star Wars Godzilla crossover?
No, but that guy who made this Godzilla -1, watch him make the Ahsoka season
Do
2
the-
or whatever.
For like
Well,
$1
Filoni
million,
just-
and he's going
Well,
to spend only,
Filoni just kind of writes it or something. You
he's
never
going
know.
Well,
to
if they
spend
wanted
only
to-
$1 million on it and be like the lowest budget Star Wars film ever
Hey,
made,
man.
and then they're going to be like, and it made $300 billion. You know?
But if they want to do a kaiju, they could do the Zillow Beast, right?
There you
For
go.
sure,
yeah,
the cartoon, that cartoon one.
Right? Yeah.
Or oh no, what's that big guy voiced by James Earl Jones? Is that the Zillow Beast?
Darth Vader.
Is he voiced? Yeah, I think he's voiced by
Darth
James
Vader
Earl Jones.
did James Earl Jones.
Yeah, but he also did the voice in the cartoons of that big moose Jedi guy.
No, that's Tom Baker from Doctor Who.
Oh, sorry, Doctor Who.
Bendu.
Sorry, yeah.
All right, that was the Godzilla.
Oh, Bendu. Yeah.
Bendu,
this-
that's the name.
this
Yeah,
is
he's
gonna
almost like
be-
a kaiju guy.
This is
No, not because of kaiju, just
McFarlane's
because of his
Lemon
directing style.
Batman.
See, that's pretty cool. Hair over the mask,
Yeah, I like that one.
and like how real does that
Imagine.
jacket look? Like
Oh.
that's just badass, man. But it's AI. AI is the devil, like Funko Pops. Who will take over the world first, Funko Pops or AI generated stuff?
Well, when the AI Funko Pop comes, that's when you're in trouble.
Well,
What are
the
you talking
Funko-
about? What's
have
the
you seen
AI
the
generated
people-
Funko Pop look like?
Have you seen the people with the AI? I mean, the Funko Pops. They cut open the heads and there's a brain in there. Those are the ones with the AI built in.
Ooh.
There's not a brain in there. Is there really a brain in there?
Have you not seen the videos where people cut open the heads and there's like a brain inside of the Funko head?
That can't be real.
They're
You
made by
don't
the
think so?
same people that make those.
You
Shadow
should go
Alien
go get a
videos, man.
Funko and cut it open and see if there's a brain in there. That's why they make the videos. I also saw this video the other day where these people found like a secret room behind the wall in their closet.
And
And
it's full of Funko Pops.
no, I was so mad about it because I was like, look at this. And they were showing like the little screw hole and then they cut open the wall and stuff like that. And there was like insulation in there. And then they climb in there and they're showing the room. And I'm like, oh, so they're renovating their walk-in closet. And to make this video, they just built like a wall in front of the door, like 2 feet behind the
Oh,
door.
so it's
and
all
they just
fake.
hung a rack, like they put up a bar and hung some clothes in there and pretended like they had this really tiny closet in their room. And then they discovered another room, but it was obvious to me that
closed-off
was a
walk-in
walk-in closet, right?
Still had shoes
And I'm
on
like,
the
man.
racks.
And then I went to go read their comments, and then the person was like, "Man, you have found 4 hidden rooms in your house."
Well, you got.
I thought you were gonna talk about the videos where they do that, where they're like, I was expanding and I cut a hole in the closet and it went to a parallel dimension where there was no people left alive. And they go
No,
in,
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that. I haven't seen that. Oh,
and
have you seen this?
I did some research on it and I was thinking of going there, but it's actually a mall that closed down in Miami
Uh-huh,
and it's totally empty, but they still let the public in to walk.
right?
And if you go there early, like say 3 or 4 in the morning, you'll get there before the power walkers because the power walkers show up at like 5:30 or 6.
Okay.
So you can walk through the whole mall, and all the shops are still there with stuff in them. Like some of
John,
them
I
even have.
dare you to dress up like you're in that game, The Last of Us.
What
and
time
film
did the
yourself
shadow
walking
alien
through the
show
mall.
up at the mall?
So
in
people
Miami.
have been videotaping it, saying, "Look, this mall is completely vacant of people. It's like I'm in I
What
would
would
step into a
happen-
parallel
what-
universe where everyone
what
is
would-
dead."
What would happen if you hired a bunch of street actors to zombie themselves up and then just hang out in the mall for the power walkers?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I have some.
It'd be like-
There's a lot of really elderly people that power walk those malls. They probably be like,
I have
It'd be-
some photos.
No,
but I don't
they
have
just
video.
think it would be like your average Floridian high on bath salts trying to eat people.
We used to have something here in Vancouver called the Zombie Walk, and I don't think they've done it since the COVID times kind of thing happened. But basically, thousands and thousands of people would all meet up at the art gallery downtown, get all zombied up and bloodied and ripped, and literally walk like a 10-mile like parade route through the city of downtown Vancouver, all like zombied, and it was freaking phenomenal, man. I've never seen anything like it. I know they did it in other big cities in the States and in Toronto and stuff. It made the news and stuff. But
They're going to do something like that here, Rick. It's zombies versus vampires. they're going to have a big thing like in July. I think it's the week of Comic-Con or the week before. So they're going to have a bunch of like people dressed up in like zombies or vampires. And then there's going to be like these digital, it's like a digital scavenger hunt type game.
Okay. Like Pokemon or whatever.
Yeah. To get through like the little zones or whatever. And then they're encouraging you to also dress up and pick your side.
Yeah. This is totally unsanctioned. Like police came and had to stop traffic while all these zombie people were walking. But everyone was good. There was no people weren't vandalizing or robbing shit. But if you were just down there like with your grandma and all of a sudden like these 30 zombies come across the corner, it's pretty weird. Like you don't expect to see that.
John, they have like these little apps that will add virtual reality stuff into video, you know, like I've seen the people where they're riding their motorcycle and then they have like the meteor shower blasting the road ahead of them. If you filmed yourself walking through that mall or film the mall, you can add stuff to the effects.
Like shadow aliens?
Yeah, like shadow aliens. I don't know. We're watching some blurry video on John's phone.
Yeah, see, he's talking about going into it was in the future, apparently, he claims.
Oh.
So he went into 2027, and in that mall there's nobody in there. So he's like, all the humans are dead. They're all gone.
Oh my gosh. All right. That looks like that video or that story should be covered by Dave's Dimension and the Outer Dimensions podcast, and they should cover that in their next Do You Believe It series.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We should super chat him thousands of dollars so he can go to the Miami Mall and film the shadow aliens.
So, John, you believe that we went to the moon back in the 60s and 70s, right?
See, there's the mall. See it? Yeah.
John, you believe that people went
to the moon? Believe? Right? You don't believe. It's either fact or it's not a fact.
No,
it's either yes or no.
That it's a fact.
It is a fact. I don't believe it's a fact. It is a fact.
It's now been, so let's say 1970, 30, 40, 50, 53 years.
They went in 69.
54 years, and a company cannot send an unmanned chip to the moon. It couldn't get past like the Earth's atmosphere before some.
But they can do AI generated art.
They couldn't even turn the arrays so that the solar panels could like hit the sun consistently, and they had to burn that ship up in the atmosphere. What do you think it was about the technology in 1969 that allowed people to like get in a ship made out of tinfoil and land on the moon? And basically leave a bunch of stuff behind that not one person has taken a high resolution photo of since we left.
Vern, you can shoot a laser. You can shoot a laser at the moon and get a measurement from the reflector they put on the moon.
With your iPhone 1, you can do that.
Right. Yeah, what about this Mars rover? Do you think that thing's just driving around in the Utah sand dunes or whatever?
No, it's
on Mars.
Yeah.
Because have you seen any of those pictures where you can go around the thing? Does it actually leave tracks? Because I've never seen the tracks.
No, there's another little Mars rover behind it that goes
just like wiping up
the tracks. Wiping up.
Broom.
It's got a broom on it, and it's just like...
That's what Lack's doing up in Alaska now. Is he's prepping for the new video of the new.
So we went to the moon in 1969, but I can't get Wi-Fi in that corner of my house.
True.
Yep.
All of it.
All right. I'm glad you guys set me straight. Look at Eric.
Anyone pick up boys?
I don't want to be like, yeah. I'll pass on these conversations
because he doesn't want to tell us that we really didn't go.
Gap says it's because the Earth is flat.
No,
for sure it is.
If you fly, you know that the Earth is not flat.
If you look outside, it looks perfectly flat.
If you fly around the whole world twice.
No.
But you couldn't do
you're in the
one
plane,
tank
you
of
can
fuel.
see there's a curve, so it's not really just flat.
That's just the glass of the airplane that's curved.
Yeah, the glass is curving it.
Kind of like John's glasses. They got that convex or concave effect.
Uh-huh.
I do not endorse this conversation.
It's an illusion.
All right,
The toy duo and flat earthers.
Well, because we mentioned flat Earth, after this is done, you're going to get 1,000 comments bashing us for making fun of flat Earth.
And Eric's going to see new ads on Hulu that are about flat Earth.
Oh, geez.
And round like a pizza.
And black
Speaking of
girlfriend.
pizza, have you seen the delivery guys videos where they take one slice of pizza out and then they squish it together to make it still look like
No.
it's a full round piece
I've been
of
watching
pizza?
this one where the dude supposedly rides up on his little roller skates and he like explains to the person through their Ring camera why he's like that they didn't really order a pizza because they got a thin crust, and so basically what you ordered was a flatbread, blah blah blah, and then he opens it and smells it and stuff like that, and he tells him you have to leave a 25% tip. Like it's like almost ridiculous.
What I found out is those skipped dishes and all those delivery apps, like because it snowed here in Vancouver last week, and so all of Canada closed because of it. And yeah, those delivery drivers, like if they weren't closed, they just add like another 40% tax or whatever you want to call it for delivery and bad weather fee charge.
That's the
But I'm
crazy
like, I
part.
never knew that was a real thing until it was on the local news that these companies were charging, an extra amount of money to
Hazard
deliver
pay.
because of the snow.
Domino's already adds in some ridiculous like delivery fee, right?
But
And then-
Domino's gives you a free emergency pizza.
Yeah, but then then if you order it, you got to pay the exorbitant delivery fee, and then
Yes.
Carry out. Always carry out.
and then
Yeah.
the driver still wants you to tip them.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me give you a tip. Tell your boss to get rid of the delivery fee.
Well, have you gone into a hotel recently?
No.
You stayed at one? Like, look at the bill
Just for
next
an
time.
hour at a time.
Next time you happen to be at one, look at the bill, because this is what I thought was funny. They were like, they're advertising these rooms for like $50 a night, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good deal. And then once you get there, they go, oh, and here's a $30 occupancy fee for occupying the room.
Yes, and then if you brought
don't
your
use
car,
it, it's cheaper.
then if you brought your car, here's the $25 parking fee per night.
And
So I'm like,
and a convenience fee for booking online.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
you turn the TV on, that's an
Ticketmaster
extra
crap.
$10. Oh, you want
So
hot water?
I told the guy,
Hot
I was
water's
like,
another
so
$20.
I was like, so this room isn't $50 a night, it's $80 a night because there's a $30 occupancy fee. And he's like, no, it's $50 a night. And I'm going, but you're charging me $30 to occupy
What if
it.
you told them that you weren't going to sleep in it?
I wasn't going to occupy the room. Yeah, I'm just getting the room. I'm not really going to occupy
and
it.
I just
so I don't
pay
need to
the
pay that.
$30 if in case after.
In cash.
I might
Cash
not come
only.
back. I might just want to rent the room, and yeah, that's the dumbest thing. Anyways, you guys got any ideas for something to talk about next week? Or should we just wait and see how the week unfolds? Because we'll probably have to talk about what happened on Monday, right?
Is it Monday or is it Tuesday?
Or Tuesday, the 23rd, for the thing. But
But if you can hack into Hasbro's home base, you can probably watch them film it Monday.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe Doomcock will have it.
Yeah. And then
yeah, we'll have to talk about what's new and what's coming out. Yeah.
All right. So we'll work on that. Okay. Well, we kind of talked about the AI. Eric, what are you working on for your channel this week?
Oh, nothing.
And
Let me
John's
check.
got
Nothing.
The same as last week.
Jeopardy tomorrow. And
Jeopardy tomorrow, and
Rick's
I'll be at the house, so we'll be doing it at the house. And
Do we have buzzers or is this?
it's going to be raise hands. I have toyed around. There is a buzzer system that connects to the website that I'm using for the Jeopardy Labs, but when I tried using it on this, it was very cumbersome. And it wasn't like you'd hit the buzzer, and then I'm watching it online, and then it would be like
there's some latency.
Yeah, and it would be like so. I'm not convinced that everybody would be the same speed. So you might click it, and then Rick's buzzer goes off, and you're like, I clicked it. We'll see Eric do this, and then Rick's buzzer will go, and then Rick will go like, we'll see Rick do that. You know what I mean? So I'm not convinced it'll work. So we're just doing raise hands.
Okay. So are you guys going to do any trash talking before we get out of here?
Eric's going down.
I probably am.
Eric's like,
I don't disagree.
Eric's like, I'm gonna fall. I'm going down in 3
I don't know.
seconds.
I don't know if Eric understands what trash talking is.
Funny, I've been watching lots of wrestling on the YouTube. It's funny for 5 minutes at a time. It's fun.
Oh, you know,
And I do want to encourage as many people as possible. Try to be there right when we start at 1:00, because there is more happening to this mystery as to what's going on with our co-hosts.
yeah, what's up with that? That was very
I know.
confusing last week.
Dino
be
showed up at
wizards.
the end.
Yeah,
Staged. It's all staged.
No,
It's a conspiracy theory.
or something like that going on.
Yeah, there's some co-host drama going on. We'll see what happens.
Wrestle.
But I do have a couple things I'm working on, because I've noticed over the last couple weeks to 3 or 4 weeks here or so that to my surprise I was told to look at a few Transformers because the prices are coming down. So I started doing some research on it, and I'm making a video on another affordable Transformers video coming out soon, where, yeah, a lot of Transformers have come down from some of them that were $200 like a year or so ago are now under $50.
Wow.
And my question is it because of Temu and the wider use of those websites, because those Chinese reseller websites, because the like I bought the 5 Dinobots from Temu, and I bought Shockwave, the purple gun, and I actually brought some of the Dinobots so I have a bunch of Transformers I've had since I was a kid. I have some that I bought through the years that are in really, really nice shape. They're almost looking brand new, but I know they're authentic vintage because either I've had them that long or I bought them in the 90s and I've had them since then at least. And I brought them in with some of the Dinobots that I bought off Temu. And I asked the guy at the store, I said, can you tell me which ones are vintage and which ones are bought off of this Chinese app called Temu? And he sorted them out. He was looking at them. He was using a little eye loop to look at the dates, and he was looking at different things around him. He was sorting them out. And he put the Dinobots in the authentic vintage pile.
So he didn't know.
And I bought them off Temu. He could not tell. You know what I
Wow.
mean? So when I told him, he was like, holy crap, I would have bought these thinking they were real. And he's like, so he goes, I'm going to just, yeah, I agree with you. There's no way to tell.
You don't think that they're just real, like maybe like old stock that they just happen to have over there?
No.
No, they're running a factory right now making them, because every once in a while you'll see Temu runs out of stock, then they get more. They'll get another shipment of like 50 or
That's
60.
tricky.
But the date stamp is the same. It's just Takara Tomy with a date stamp, and then it'll say Hasbro with the 84 or 85 date stamp, depending on when it came out.
You're working on a video to expose the entire...
Well, all I'm trying to say is that I think because of Temu, it's a good time to purchase a lot of vintage, because I think the authentic vintage prices are coming down because it's either because the Temu price, like say you can buy it new in a Temu box for $70, $60 or something. So the vintage one has come down to about $60 also, because I think people are just buying them and they don't care or something. Like, that's my question, is why has the price come down to pretty much match what a Temu one is on an authentic vintage? Or is it that people are afraid to pay more than Temu prices for an authentic vintage because you actually won't know if you're getting an authentic vintage or a Temu? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So why pay more than Temu prices if you're not sure you're going to get an authentic one? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, that makes sense.
And then the other video I'm working on is carded Star Wars figures, because I found a good 20 or so Return of the Jedi figures that are now under $100 each, and so I'm doing an affordable carded Star Wars figure, like mint on card video, because a couple years back you couldn't do that video. None of them were affordable with the lockdown, but now there's a good number of them.
I think
way down in price.
Entire breaking, like you need to do an investigative piece on this whole thing. I think you need to
You should go to
travel
China.
over to China or Singapore or whatever to film at the factory, and see what they're doing. I think you need to have some like those interviews with people where they're all shaded out and their voices are changed, explaining the whole thing. If you need somebody to sit in and be the person that you're interviewing that's all shaded out with your voice change, I can do it.
Okay.
And, you know, and then you could say this person is really from a factory or whatever. And then, but like a whole explosive report on the thing.
All right. We could do it. Yeah.
All right. So G-Force is saying it right here in 15 minutes. The Culture Cast is coming back on Brian's Action Figure Reviews. I put the link in the chat if you guys are watching the show. So we usually do 2 hours. We're going to wrap up now. Toy Jeopardy tomorrow. Make sure you check out those guys' stream. You got about 15 minutes to take a break if you're still watching us. Grab some food, sit back, listen to those guys. We didn't do a lot of like language on this show, but I'm sure that you know you'll get all your language later. And Rick tries to, but
I'm holding it back.
No, it's going to be fun. They haven't actually done a stream in a while, so let's make sure we check that out. And we want to thank everybody for joining us on the Toy Duo this week. And little did you know that all of us are AI this week to go along with the theme. We'll be back live next week to talk about.
I wasn't AI today. What are you talking about?
you were the AI
batteries.
CBT 6.0, and Rick is still selling his pin sets. His Slime Lord pin set is now shipping. That is the new Jabba the Hutt that stands up on its own with its like super fancy cardboard box. It's shipping. It'll be perfect. It'll work.
My engineering skills here.
Look at that.
You will get a free paper clip.
That's amazing.
To help hold it up on the box.
The ingenuity, man.
And I had to hire 13 engineers to figure that out.
And I think this week, Eric is on track for uploading his 1 millionth video to YouTube. So let's make sure we check that out. All right, everybody.
It's going to break the internet.
Thanks for
Great weekend, everybody.
See you next week.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. See you in about 15 minutes, actually, in chat.
Yep.
Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys.
And TV and movies.